Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Aggie and the react that I've decided to do today is another one on the infamous lolcows Shanny and Rev. Now, to give a little bit of context to this stream, Shanny had gone to the hospital for a mental health issue. She returned back to the house, and a lot of people, including myself, believe that she thought that when she came back to the house that the issue with Rev around him breaking up with her was just going to disappear and that things were going to go back to normal, because these two have quite a well documented history of having some quite fiery fights, and usually through Rev being highly codependent and Shanny being a masterful manipulator, they always end up back together. But this time, it didn't happen. And what I find very interesting about this stream is her slow realization that the usual arsenal that she uses to get around him is not working. And to watch her for the first time, I think I've seen in a long time, for her to look genuinely a little bit shaken by it. She puts on a lot of histrionics, where there's a lot of manipulation behind it. But this was different. This was a genuine unnervedness by the situation. So I thought, let's just watch it together, and I'm just going to chat a bit of shit about it. Okay, let's go.
Okay, this is the last call you get, I promise. I need an ambulance. I'm having a mental health crisis. And there's a person.
Oh, just to nip in again with a little bit more context. Basically, what's happening here is that Rev is calling for an ambulance for him to be taken to the hospital, to be taken to rehab. Now, originally, Shanny is all dolled up in this interesting get-up, because her plan was to seduce him. And I'm not insinuating this, she said it on the stream that she was going to kind of doll herself up, just because, according to her, Rev only thinks with his dick, and if she just puts a bit of, I don't know what this is, Homer Simpson's makeup gun, something along those lines, if she just does that, then he will automatically fall at her feet and that will be it. But it hasn't worked, and because it didn't work, she got more angry, to the point where he then decided, do you know what, sod it, I'm gonna go to rehab and you can stay in the house on your own. And this was highly unexpected by her. So this is him on the phone.
That needs caregivers in this house. I cannot provide the services that you need anymore. And that's the bottom line. I have my stuff packed up. I don't provide though. Okay, I sold my car because we were so broke. So.
See, now, one of the ways that Shanny has been able to manipulate Rev in the past has been very much pushing this narrative that she's disabled. It's recently been, a lot of people knew pretty much that it was a lie, but it was recently proven on a stream where she ran up the stairs and trashed his bedroom, that she wasn't disabled. She was saying that she was unable to walk, and when she got angry enough with him on a recent stream, she barreled up the stairs like a juggernaut and went for him, and this was all on camera, and so therefore the lie was publicly disproven. But at this stage, that hasn't happened yet, and at this stage, a lot of the manipulation she's used to stop him from being able to go out, have his own friends, being able to go to rehab and things like that, is basically saying, well, you can't leave me, because if you leave me, then what will I do without you? It's very, 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 very insidious. But the interesting thing is, in this stream, he's basically saying on the phone, and I was so happy to see, because it was like taking a small amount of his power back, and he's done it in a really sensible way, so I commend him for that. he's phoned the police and he's basically said, look, I have a lady here who is unable to, in loose terms, take care of herself. I told her service coordinator that I'd try my best to try and help. Obviously, it's untenable because of just the nature of what's going on in this house, and you're going to need to sort something out. And it's such a straight and responsible way to do it. He's basically saying, I can't deal with this. She's saying that I can't go because she needs to be taken care of. So come and sort this out. And you can see in this moment there, I'm going to go back a bit. Watch the hard swallow that she does as she listens to him talk.
And that's the bottom line. I have my stuff packed up. I don't know if I will. Okay, I sold my car because it was so
Yep.
broken. So the cops were here.
That is, if it was a cartoon, there would be a loud comical gulp in that moment, because she's realizing that her trapping him at this house with her by saying, I'm disabled and you can't leave, is not working. He's on the phone to authorities saying, I can't do it. Come sort it. And this is something very new for her.
I was going to try and write it out because her healthcare provider, a coordinator, said to me that I should try and stay and get along with each other for her to have care for her. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I need some help. I would love to, yes, I want to go to Lehigh Valley. That would be great. I would love that.
Deep breath.
41. Yep. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
At that point, it's probably the quietest she's been on a lot of these streams, because usually Shanny is pretty much a powerhouse. Normally she's the one driving the force, driving the narrative, very much the aggressor. Don't get me wrong, Rev has his moments where he is very verbally abusive back, but she's typically the force in this household, and she's quiet because she's trying to think. She's like, oh fuck, what am I going to do? He's leaving. This get up I'm wearing hasn't worked. And again, it's interesting to watch.
He didn't spit at me. Or on me. He spit at me. Because he thinks he's a badass if he spits.
Wasn't there some sort of old tradition that if you kind of spit in the, I don't know, in the way of like demonic entities, it kind of helps to protect you? Or if somebody mentions something that's demonic, it helps protect you? I'm not saying that's what Rev has done, obviously, because he's a bit vile, but, or maybe I saw that on the Nun movie, but yeah, but that would track, because, if, flobbing on the floor protected me from this demon, then I would certainly do it too.
Done.
She's not happy.
Unlawful sexual intercourse.
Yeah, and you have unlawful...
I am innocent, folks.
You had unlawful sexual intercourse in your heart and spirit and mind. It's called adultery of the heart.
Oh yes, this is where they're arguing over the they're arguing over the definition of adultery. Basically, Rev's been chatting online with what most people are sure is a catfish. It is a real woman behind the picture, but the picture and everything's fake, usual stuff. And he was dabbling into AI ladies and things like that. And a lot of what happened around that gave him the strength and the motivation to finally do what he's doing now. But they were arguing over the definition of adultery. So she was saying adultery of the heart. He was saying, well, adultery is, playing hide the purple parsnip. Do you know what I mean? ultimately, I mean, I guess you could argue it either way. I mean, I think there is cheating, and cheating is basically any sort of betrayal of trust with a romantic partner. But then I think when you come into the realms of adultery, I think that, adultery, to me personally, you guys may think differently, and that's absolutely fine. To me, adultery is hide the purple parsnip. Cheating is when you're cheating on somebody where there's emotional cheating, there is then physical cheating. But at the end of the day, it's all betrayal of one sort. But, but they're going to argue about it, and then they draw up all these different Bible verses. It's like a Bible off, who can find the best line to trump the other one, It's like, okay.
I don't need to condemn you. You condemn your own self.
Little voice in the corner, go fuck yourself.
There's people that know me around here.
He's got to keep his lies going to make himself look like he's actually a good person. He admitted they established common law marriage in Colorado. That's a marriage. Yes, it even was on camera.
Okay, well, yeah, but that's not.
It's even in his fucking Bible.
The Greek definition is intercourse. What Jesus would have said if it was English.
How about you see what it? How about you see what adult? If you look with a woman with lust in your heart, you committed adultery. That's why before that he said, "But I say."
This is another interesting thing for me, is that one of the ways that Shanny has been able to control Rev in the past as well is very much through religion. I know there's certain elements of narcissism that you have, like kind of religious narcissism is like, I believe it's a separate thing in and of itself. But she's been able to use it because he grew up, to my understanding, very, very Christian household with a mother who is extremely into Christianity. I don't know what you would call it out there. And so the religious stuff that she used to use on him was very effective because he grew up with a mother who was very much quite a force and very much a believer. But again, what's interesting here is that she's trying to throw out all these different things, the religion and blah, blah, blah. And it's just not, it is having an effect, but it's not sticking like it normally would. Instead, he's arguing back, he's pushing back, saying, no, well, the Greek version is this, and this. And when I was watching this, one of the big things that stuck out in my mind was how much Shanny is not for this age. Like, Shanny is not for the age of the internet and everything. Shanny is for the age of, say, like the witch trials, whether it be in Europe or Salem or whatever. I can just imagine her being one of the main antagonists, pointing fingers, spouting Bible verses, standing there kind of all proud when other poor women went to the gallows or the pyre. And I can just imagine her being this in maybe even in a movie, just this supremely evil figure, and so she really belongs in those ages, and she would have thrived back then with the way she is, and the way she kind of is able to manipulate with especially the religious stuff as well. And she's an impressive is the word orator, when you kind of you're like a public speaker. And I could see her standing in one of these old wooden churches that you see in the movies, getting up and spouting Bible verses, pointing fingers, and also reveling in then what she's managed to achieve. So Shanny, you are not meant for this time. There is other times where you maybe did, and this is maybe your karma, depending on what you believe. But yeah, you weren't built for this age, love. You really weren't.
I will be getting glasses that aren't broken because I'm going to have an aid that actually can work. And I'm going to get my teeth redone. And I'm going to become a whole new woman.
Her glasses have irritated everybody, including me, because they're always on the ski whiff. You know, they're always, and for somebody who thinks so highly of herself to be like staring into a camera with these wonky glasses, and with obviously she's got very few teeth left. And that's another thing that I always find wild, is that being able to get to that point where your teeth are literally falling and rotting out. And I believe with Shanny, again, this is just my opinion, that it's down to mainly the amount of sugary drinks that she drinks and lack of basic, oral dental care, whatever you want to say. Because, you don't have to be somebody that brushes 5 times a day and flosses 5 times a day, whatever, but you need to brush your teeth. And especially if you are drinking insanely sugary stuff, which she does. I mean, she is always drinking soda, and I think and that's just eroded at them. And to be at that point where your teeth are in that kind of state and you've just carried on, that's one thing that kind of boggles my mind a little bit, because I think to myself, at what point do you look at yourself and say, I just need to stop? But again, there's an argument to be made there for mental health, and if it's seriously bad, then I'm talking from perspective of somebody that's vaguely mentally healthy, vaguely, but there we are.
Oh, you leave me with a mess of a house.
Yeah, mentally ill.
Yeah.
Mentally ill.
And barely any money in my ATM.
You got food out there?
She said, you're leaving me in a mess of a house, because another thing with Shanny is that she seems to believe that all of the mess and all the situation around her is his fault. And in the past, she's been able to completely say that's him. Whereas the fact is, they're both stinkers. So, like, she lives in like a nest of trash that surrounds her. He is the same. And I think, to be fair, like, this is something that I've been pondering a bit, is with the two of them, I think that they've both previously had partners that have been the ones to either enforce cleanliness or step up to do it. So in her previous relationship, I think it was with a guy called Chris, he did an interview and he basically talked kind of like about how, he would do the cleaning and stuff like that. And obviously he had his mum, because he was living at home until his mother passed away. And so I think with the two of them, they've always had somebody to pick up after them, whether it be parents, family, spouses. But then when they got together, the two of them were very much ingrained in the behavior, which is, well, you should do this. So it's like that Spider-Man meme, she's pointing at him saying, no, you, and he's pointing at her and going, no, you. And because neither of them are prepared to do what needs to be done, then they just live in trash. And I think that's why things have gotten as bad as they've gotten, say like with the house, and why the negative behaviors have just kind of gotten worse and worse and worse. Because there's, for one of these people to function in a vaguely, and I stress that term, vaguely kind of normalish way, they need to have somebody who is a reasonably grounded in reality person who's going to push to get them to do it, or will do these things themselves.
Yeah, when I left, we had like 200.
What are you talking about? Yeah, you're completely delusional. We didn't have that much money.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. You're gonna be fine, Luke. They're gonna get you your healthcare worker right away. So you're gonna be fine.
Oh, you're such a...
Oh.
She's trying to think of what to do because he's basically saying, no, I'm going.
No. That bailment money went to prostitutes.
Little bit of context around that. Basically, Rev got sent to jail. His uncle gave her money for bail money, basically. And rather than spending it on bail, she used it to treat herself to whatever various substances she fancied. And yeah, and that is one thing that's kind of brought up a lot. And she's now basically saying that he just spent it on prostitutes, which is, you know, it's just not true. She's so pissed off. And this is kind of what I was saying about the loss of control. It's like up until this point, I think it was over a couple of days, maybe a day or two, she has been trying to kind of throw everything she normally would at him, thinking it's going to work, and it hasn't. And now it's at the point where the last kind of bastion, which was, you can't leave me, I'm a disabled woman, hasn't worked. And he is now basically saying, look, cops know, they're going to tell your service coordinator I'm out the door. And he's just waiting to be picked up. She's just sitting there like, she's at a loss. She's at a loss. And I enjoy watching this. It's awful, but I do. It's just quiet.
No.
I left you
He spent it.
I'm a really good guy. I gave you the Delta. I'm a good fucking guy. I am.
That's one hell of a side profile.
Yeah, and I have $7.
What you got?
And you're smoking weed? Oh wait, that's a cigarette.
Smoking weed, I wish.
I thought you were lighting up a fucking joint, man.
I wish, man. No. Unfortunately. Oh my God, you love.
Still quiet.
Here we go. Here we go.
With the wonky glasses as well.
Okay, you get an escort or something. That's cool, okay? I'm down with that. Oh. Thank you. It looks like they sent a cop first.
Jesus Christ.
That's fine.
Go enjoy your police escort.
Come on. Don't worry. I'm ready to go into an ambulance. That's what I'm ready for.
Cool, man.
All right.
We'll wait for him.
All right. God bless you, honey. Have a great life. Oh, boy.
Enjoy being catfished and being left in the middle of a state that you don't belong in.
And he is off. He has flown the coop. And all she can do is shake her head. And yes, I'm going to leave it there and just kind of finish out by saying that obviously there is way more that kind of came after this, but at this point, this was the first time that I'd seen her genuinely, not completely lost for words, but reasonably lost for words. And I always enjoy watching somebody like this be put on the back foot, because when somebody is so used to having control over another person, and a lot of these people that we'll meet in day-to-day life, they have a certain playbook, they have a certain arsenal of things that they use, and it's like a toolkit that they've honed over years of dealing with people, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, the type of person it will work on. And they will kind of go through that book when they want to get a certain outcome from certain people. And it's so insidious when you watch people do this. And especially, I think, with Shanny, there's quite a few manipulations that sickened me. There was a lot of stuff that she used around religion so that it was kind of manipulation in relation to his mum. She used a lot of manipulations around health, because he took care of his mother when she was dying of cancer. And it was obviously, I mean, that is a hugely traumatic thing for anybody, especially somebody who is an only child, which I believe Rev is, and he'd already lost his father. So, you know, using then that she's sick and I need you to kind of take care of me, it's very much kind of putting him back in that situation, in that role. Also, she said that she had the same disease that his mother had. She highly implied it. I believe she outright said it, but there are many streams where she also highly implies it as well, which is another really, really, really nasty thing to do to somebody. So she's used all of these things. So he's been kind of, she's had a playbook as thick as the Bible that she's got next to her of stuff that she uses against him. And to see her be put on the back foot, even if it's just for a moment, you know, ultimately, you know, as I said, I'm not going to go into what kind of followed after this, but even for her to be put on the back foot just for a moment, for me, it was just a highly pleasurable watch. And that kind of sounds a bit creepy saying it's a highly pleasurable watch, but it did give me the nippy tinglies, I won't lie. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you again. Bye!